Welcome to the second video of Self-Made, and this time I will show you what I have promised you a long time ago, a how-to on my electromagnetic Spider-Man web launcher. It's a bit simpler, still can be modified easily to be as powerful as the last one. It's just, not as tricky to make as the last one, a lot easier. And yeah, if you have any questions, ask me on the comments. And here we go. So for the coil, you take your pipe and put a nice and clean layer on it. It's 0.8 millimeter copper wire coated. Has to be coated or it will short. And when you're done, you just fix it with hot glue. Smear it in there. Make sure it stays together. And the next one. And layer by layer, copper wire and glue, copper wire and glue. And yeah, 3 to 4 times, and we're done. So that's what a nice little coil looks like in the end. And I like to wrap it up in hot glue completely because it should not move, and uncoil. So for the coil holder, just a tiny piece of aluminum, and it's marked right as long as your wristband is. Measure it and then just bend it along the lines over the edge of your desk or something, and then just put it on your wristband, drill holes, put the coil in it, and that's what I'm going to do next. So that's what it looks like when we are done. The U-profile here is a bit higher than the coil because towards the end, when it's firing and everything is working, we just bend it over and have a nice surface for our top cover to screw it on. In case you are just like me, design freaks, and don't want it to look ugly, yeah, we cover it up basically. So another drill hole, dismantled keychain laser module right through it, 1 drop of hot glue just to make sure it won't move. After you have fired the first shot, you will have to realign the laser module and make sure it hits where the BB hits. So really fix it and glue it in place when you have fired the first shot after the aligning. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Up to the next step. What you see here is our capacitor bank. Flash capacitors, salvaged from the disposable cameras. And we will use one of those for the charging circuit also. That's the next step. The smaller lines, thinner lines are for the input, the thicker lines are for the output, and a bit longer, because you don't have to store this anywhere on the hand or in the glove. You could just put it in your pocket and run the lines down your arm or something. Make sure it's insulated well, and you're good to go. Yeah. Next step. So here it is on top of an old CD cover. CDs, those circular discs we had before MP3 hit us. Some might remember. And yeah, the capacitor bank, the circuit board made for an old camera. I will show you how to make them in the next video. It's worth a separated video because it can do a lot more than just power your Spidey glove. So we take care of this later. That's the test switch. The new switch will be smaller and find a new home right here in your palm to make it Spider-Man. And yeah, inlet is already connected to the battery, to the switch, interrupted by the switch, and that's the outlet. And we're gonna hook it up and see where it gets us. So now we have hooked up an SCR switch, which will just release the capacitor bank charge into the coils, and the data sheet says it's KAG. G is for gate. It will switch on the SCR. In the middle is A node for input, and the remaining pin is the output, so you just run it in from the capacitors and out to the coil. And this is a resistor, 1.2 kilo ohms, to make sure it won't blow the gate and make it become a diode. The input for the gate is actually the charged capacitor bank. It's not really common, but I do it because, you know, it works. And the resistor will protect the gate, so nothing bad will happen. And yeah, now we are ready to hook it up to the coil. So for the board that will hold the push button switches, you just cut out, again, old CD, a part like this, half ass, half hard, and whatever, you know, sits in your palm, just to, you know, whatever fits your palm. Then you just cover the pins of the buttons in hot glue and just put it on there, and that way it will just fit into your hand and you can charge and fire. Simple. So here we go. The supply is ready, launcher is ready, and what you always get when you do stuff like this, a kick-ass charging sound. So last step before we try it out, I have glued a piece of iron or steel onto the wrist part, and this is the painted top cover for it, and instead of screws I just use a flat magnet covered in glue. So what you can do now is perfect. And if you want to adjust the laser or anything, take it off, put it back on. Simple, efficient, and looks cool. Done. So for the projectile I used a 4mm screw matching the inner diameter of my barrel. Whatever you have, use something, you know, of the same diameter. You can make a pointy tip using a file and your drill. Works well. I will do that right away. And yeah, now we are ready to fire. Test shot. Seems to work. Test shot 2. Yep. So it works. Hope all you guys copy it. If you do, show it to me on Facebook. Follow me, like it, do what you want. Spread the word, and I see you next time.